It's December 11th, 2025. Oh my God. There are scenarios of an attorney's office is having every attorney telling them they can't help her, they are getting even with her. Or they say it's someone from the prosecutor's office or a judge. It is totally illegal for even police agencies, anybody to get even with you. It is illegal for them to have you stalked, harassed, or harmed. If another attorney, judge, prosecutor's office knows it's happening, they're to report them and have them criminally charged. There is nothing else. They go to jail. So where that judge in Tuscarawas County said some office was down there and said everybody's to get even with them, well, I'm reporting her today. She said it in a courthouse and everything's bugged. Now, which scenario do you guys want to make up a lie on? Or are you reporting misconduct, obstruction to justice, and tampering with a witness, and aiding and abetting crimes, and stalking and harassing and harming somebody? It don't matter what position you put on that title before their name. They cannot do this. I am exhausted. I am tired. Our great nation, our wonderful nation, the people that wrote the Constitution wrote it to make sure everyone would stay honest. And the laws that are wrote that are over everyone are kept to keep everyone honest and fair. Our nation was founded on our rights that are endowed over everyone. No man is above the law. And the law falls on every man. The things that give each American citizen pride, that we know we live in a free country. I didn't understand what freedom was. I really didn't. You take it for granted what freedom is. Freedom is living your life without fear. You get in your car, you go where you want. You don't have to worry about someone trying to kill you, harass you, harm you, sell you. We live in a free country. Until it's stolen from you, you don't know what it is. I realized during the case in 19 when I went down to my sister's house and I walked outside with my puppies, I exhaled for a moment. I rushed in. The whole case was gone. I was free. No one trying to kill me, harass me, harm me. It was gone. And then the truck heard out drove by. And they were there. I ended up going back later that day. Tiny town. They followed me clear to Illinois. It's a good thing I left. Because the guy, tall, white, with black hair, showed up looking for me with Ohio plates. Looking for his girlfriend. Not his girlfriend. Get the idea. After I met with my mother, I went back and I sat outside my sister's house. I kept looking at the little town. thinking, oh, the gunshot night, almost shot in the head driving, being stabbed in the neck, bashed in the back of the head, facing stalkers, people getting killed, human traffickers. Now they're here in this tiny, tiny town. The fight is mine, not theirs. They'll destroy this place. I have to find another way out. And it took me an hour to put that car in gear to come back to Ohio. But for a moment, I exhaled. I realized what freedom was. It's living your life without fear. A lot of times when I talk about it, if I went in details of it that day, I cry. I dream of freedom. When I was so afraid in Ravenna, I'd be so afraid I couldn't get warm. And I would lay and cry and pray. I thought, what do you want the most? And I dreamed of a life without fear. Living my life and not being afraid. And I held on to that dream. And that's what kept me alive. The hope of one day being free of this case. It surrounds me like a hurricane of a case that never, ever got cleaned up. It is illegal for anyone to be in your home, but police and agencies, under a threat of life, with statements, with a court order, there is nothing else. Where I have found out that my ex-husband hired 2 men on his own. You can't hire 2 men, I don't care who they are, to stalk me. It is illegal for an attorney to set up button cameras in anyone's home. They cannot be hired to. They are to be disbarred and criminally charged with voyeurism. Voyeurism is taking naked pictures of somebody without their permission. They are listed sex offenders. Felony invasion of privacy and stalking and cyber stalking and a whole lot more. They can't drug anybody for fake confessions. It is pharmaceutical torture, drug charges, kidnapping. They cannot human traffic someone and have them beaten, raped, let alone photoshopped and framed. And they have already confessed. The people that did this, they did this to extort money from the government. November 23rd, 25, Macy's and Summit Mall downstairs, girls yelling it out that they had got a hold of them. And that this whole thing was a setup to steal from the government. They needed someone to run a scam on. My ex-husband was already connected to him, so they went to him and asked if they could use me. He agreed if they made sure that he got everything during the divorce and that they could run the scam to extort money from the government. What have they been telling people? They're going to extort money from the government. Endless amount. They think the government is stupid. They think the FBI is stupid. They think the police are stupid. When they have degrees in criminal background, they are the law. Like they wouldn't know it. And they enforce it. These people should have been slammed to that agent's desk and arrested the first day by federal law. Constitutional laws. See, that's where I've had police in uniform yell at these people. I don't care who the hell you think you are, you can't do any of this. No, they can't. Where my friend Walter Moss, that worked at the Starr County Prosecutor's Office, it took him 30 seconds. It's a big fraud scheme. Karen, where you had all the signs of being drug beat and raped. Somebody was harming you. You never seen or talked to anybody. You had to go to the doctor for injuries you couldn't explain. Where they're laughing at you in front of people in stores, they drugged you and told you to say horrible stuff, they probably did. And where they laughed at you, they photoshopped a shower scene in the other room. They probably did. It's clicking and pasting. It's a big fraud scheme. They made the biggest mistake they did in your home. Police and agencies can only be in a home under a threat of life with statements in a court order. There's nothing else. They can't even look or listen. I talked to the police, they said the same thing. So they're running around with their non-admissible stalking tapes. And investigators call them freaking peeking Tom tapes. That's what they're considered. Attorneys do not get special permission from the police, a judge. These people even laughed. It was Dave that gave him special permission, the man that agreed to help run a scam on the government to steal from him. The one that was running with the drug cartel. That's where Officer Mark said it's documented and verified she was framed before, and it was a drug cartel in my home before, and they seen him. Nobody else drugs anybody but the drug cartel, and they were connected to him, that office. They got thousands of people off this case. Hundreds were saved. The human traffickers that attacked Ohio in 18, 19, 20, 21, and 22 until the U.S. Marshals showed up and kicked their ass. FBI got Judge Peters out of Florida, 100 men. The Kingsman from Texas, the men that work for the King from Texas, he's real. I Googled him. His U.S. military Iraqi translator went into the dark web malware Fentanyl King. They're all after him. And his group. They've killed agents, I found out. California drug dealers, Buffalo, New York, Michigan, Georgia, Tennessee, Kentucky, all came up here and helped out with the scam. They would laugh at me that the cartels were taking turns paying for the harassment. So the government got information on each cartel, and they got it all together under legal police surveillance with a court order for protected custody case for an FBI informant with threat and attempted life, with statements in a court order. They wanted someone inside somebody they were harming and scamming, list them informant, and then they left me there and fed me back to them. Agent John, I like my money. We all know police and agencies cannot tell you that you can't say anything. It takes a judge and a jury trial. Prosecutor's office, police, criminal attorney. That agent doesn't have the authority. He's only a higher police officer. Plus, then he's already had told on me. Confessed on a recorded line. All the church people knew, so why would I stay quiet? Like my friend from the prosecutor's office. He was just trying to bully you so they get away with it. I'd hate to think that, Agent John. I like my money. You know, and these people running around trying to help and say stuff for his thieving stepchildren from his second marriage and his insane inciting his son Rick to threaten to kill him for his farm. The FBI released on Google that 5,100 other people were victims of phishing scams where they go around trying to get information on you, get people to say stuff, and a bunch of other stuff, and they lost $260 million running illegal scams on people. I'm not that stupid. Not a damn dime. You know, I had an investigator show up last year. Came in, I found out what's going on. One person says one word to her, I'm going to arrest him for attempted murder. That's what they should have done. They should have done. For them to say they were illegally monitoring me on their own, they were to be arrested. For their fake sodium pentothal reports, they were to be arrested. For them telling an agent they were drug beating, raping me, they were to be arrested for human trafficking me. And where they told people, that agent, they were trying to kill me because some idiot called me a faker when it was a medication error 15 years before. They were to arrest them for attempted murder and conspiracy to commit murder. They were to be arrested for their crimes. And the confession to a federal police officer. HIPAA violations. See, that's where even teenage girls in Carrollton said you have to learn your rights. And when you learn your rights, they can't hurt you. It's important everyone learn their rights. First Amendment in the Constitution, the freedom of speech. Only a judge in a jury trial can tell you can't say anything. Police and agents are only hired police officers. They cannot tell someone they can't say anything. It is illegal for them to silence a victim. They go to jail for 10 to 20 years. Fourth Amendment in the Constitution. It's the right of privacy and the right to be safe within your own person. The way it is wrote, the right of the people to be safe and secure within your own person. No one can touch you unless you want them to. It's assault. We all know that. Your places, your homes, your papers, and your effects against all unreasonable searches or seizures shall not be violated. Your home can't be violated. No searches, no seizures, but upon probable cause, warranted. You have to have a court order, not special permission. There's no such thing. Of the people, places, or things to be searched or seized. Fifth Amendment, you have the right to remain quiet. No coerced confession is admissible. They cannot drug you. It is pharmaceutical torture, drugs, kidnapping, assault with a deadly weapon, and could go into attempted murder. Sixth Amendment, you have a right to an attorney to represent you. With those rights, not even the FBI can be in your home, outside, a protected custody case with statements with a court order. We also have the 14th Amendment. It is illegal for anyone to withhold protection from any U.S. citizen. No money, no assets can be seized by due process of the law. You have to be found guilty and sued for it. Seventh Amendment. No judge can sign over any money or assets. It can only be awarded per documented injury, per set amount, by an impartial jury. We have HIPAA violations. HIPAA is over the medical. Your medical records are your own. They are so strict that not even an individual can break in your home, take your medical records, and try to use them against you. No doctor can talk about you without your consent. No doctor can pull your medical records without your signed consent and ID, copy of ID. No doctor can pull somebody else's medical records. No doctor of mine could ever talk to him. No doctor can even ever say a word about me without my consent. See, that's where investigators said these people did not realize putting the word doctor on it made it so illegal everyone involved would go to jail. It's 10 years for each offense. December 1st, 25. Walmart 62. A man was in there. He said, Michelle. Now, Michelle is supposed to be Dave, my ex-husband's girlfriend, that he was cheating on me with, that was connected to the cartel. Okay? She don't find it funny anymore. She's telling everyone. Guy showed up. Said Michelle showed up and told me that the doctor from before was not one of hers, works for them, and they had lied. She actually don't know who he is. Well, I'd hope to God none of my doctors are out drug beating, raping some poor lady in her home. Running fraud schemes on them. And that guy Pete that was in my office, running his mouth about her, that she's never even met him. I found out my ex-husband hired him on his own to run the scam. He's scamming you. He's some hired guy from my ex-husband. I've never even met him. He's just lying to you. I've never met him. And how Michelle told him she don't even know who he is. No, he's a hitman from my ex-husband, conning everyone. Him and that guy, Willie Bill. Bill from the Freemasons big scam. May 26, 25. Walmart 62 of the dirty doctor not being one of hers, works for them, and they had lied. Of course they lied. The whole thing is a scam. Of course it is. It's ridiculous. It's the most absurd scam in the world. And that Michelle had told him that November 23rd, 25, up in Macy's in Summit Mall, that these people admitted that they had went to my ex-husband and they needed someone to run a scam on to extort money from the government. And he agreed to let him use me. And the whole thing was a scam to extort money from the government. That's how dumb they think the FBI is. How dumb they think the police are. That they can set up a scam to steal from the government. And scam the government out of money. And that Michelle had told him that they used hypnotic drugs on her and told her to say it before. And it causes sleepwalking. And they had photoshopped that tape of Weird with Yourself. March 27th, 25, outside my work at 1 o'clock, an investigator said that he broke up with Michelle when Michelle confessed to him that the doctor from before was not one of mine, works for them, and they had lied. And when they bashed in the back of my head, they tried to kill me or leave me incompetent, and it didn't work. And he got it out of my ex-husband that a girlfriend from before me made him marry me so that he could get a job at my dad's factory and she could have free insurance. The lady running up all those medical bills in my name, sticking me with copays for 15 years, was actually a girlfriend of Dave's. Another one. My whole marriage was a scam. I had chest pains for days. I loved my ex-husband. We were together 33 years. I loved him with all my heart. With every breath I took. And with every heartbeat. And my whole marriage was a scam. Stockholm Syndrome. I realized that. Dave was an odd man. He'd be good to me for a year and a half, too. First day he had a bad day, he'd beat the hell out of me. Be sorry. He wasn't sorry. He didn't want me to report him. I know that now. Then he'd be good to me for a year and a half till he had another bad day. And then he'd beat the hell. That's not love, that's control. Found out he cheated on me in most of my marriage. Only thing I feel betrayed. Stupid. My feelings were real. Stockholm Syndrome, where people find loving, affectionate towards people that abuse them or kidnap them. It's how your mind survives their abuse. I know that. It's how you survive. Your mind protects itself. Because if they loved you, they'd never hurt you. And that investigator had got it out of that family, and like people said how sick it is. That family where their father was speeding ran a stop sign into a semi and killed himself and their son. I had nothing to do with it. I was at home, my whole family was. And just because a minister made up a baby lie on me 6 months later when he thought I was following his son and cheating on my sister, and here's my sister following her husband, that it was cheating, and she got caught and they thought it was me. Made up a baby lie to get rid of me real quick. Called me a faker through all that. It takes a retard to fall for that one. I almost died from medical malpractice about 22 to 25 years ago. Had 6 to 10 surgeries and my muscles clenched from being cut in so many places. And I went to a bunch of crackpots, gave me a bunch of wrong medicine, and I swelled up. My whole body swelled up. Gained 150 pounds in 2 years. Had seizures, heart attacks, thyroid, adrenal gland shut down. And they were lying so bad. They said I had level 2 brain tumors, needed my pituitary gland removed before I let them take part of my brain out. I went to my doctor, my community health. They're like, whoa. Those doctors are known for lying, falsely diagnosing people, ripping them off, making them sick, and doing unnecessary procedures. They're getting kickbacks from drug companies. They're sharing you with associates, a friend, and they're all scamming you. They're all defrauding you. That's how they put it. They're defrauding you. And they're ripping you off. There's nothing wrong with you, but your muscles locked up from all those surgeries. Went to Dr. Eli. He agreed. He said the only way to get clenched muscles to relax is to move them, but you're in so much pain. I got to get you out of enough pain to move. He put me on fentanyl patches and muscle relaxers. My muscles were clenched so tight that even times they would raise up like a baby's foot through your skin. And as they raised up through the skin, as they were clenching tighter, blood vessels would break and I would bleed down through my skin. I got red freckles. And until that muscle would relax, you would throw up. And throw up and throw up. It was horrible. First month off the medication, I lost 30 pounds. Second month, I was pulling myself around malls and stores. Got in so much pain, ended up in the hospital. By the third month, the seizures, the heart attack stopped. I could drive a car. And I started October, November of 2002. By April, I'm almost well. Went from a 24 to a 16. May 3rd, 2003 is when Brian showed up and told us about that accident that we had nothing to do with. And that how that guy was speeding in front of people, ran a stop sign into a semi and killed them both. Come July, I finished getting well. It took me 9 months. November of 2003 is when Strange made up that lie, when he thought I was following Tim and Katie. It's documented fraud, medical malpractice, and medication errors. They encouraged us to sue him for 2 years, that they would go to court and represent us because they almost killed us. Or killed me, sorry.